How much does it cost to hire a private criminal defense attorney in California? My name is Veronica. I am a criminal defense attorney here in Los Angeles, and I help people who have been arrested put their criminal cases behind them so that they can enjoy their lives and their freedom. And again, in this video, we're going to be talking about how much a criminal defense attorney costs. Okay, so this answer may be somewhat Southern California specific, and part of that is because costs of everything vary. Cost of living, cost of everything varies from place to place. So if you're in a super rural, Eureka, California, this may not be accurate, but it is for Los Angeles. In general, if you want to figure out how much a criminal defense attorney will cost, ballpark, I would say it's between, in general, 10 to 20% of the amount of your bail. Now, hold on. If you got out OR on $0 bail, that does not mean that it's zero. This is just a general rule if you're trying to figure it out. So if you are hiring, you were charged with a 273.5, a domestic violence charge, and your bond was $50,000, that's the normal bond for that, then probably you're looking at between $5,000 and $10,000, not including trial. All of this is not including trial, because trial in criminal cases can be, and I've had cases where it was a 2-month-long murder trial, for example. And there are other trials that it could be a much less serious charge, but it does take a very long time because of, for example, the number of witnesses, those types of things. So we're talking about excluding trial, trying to get the case dismissed and resolved before trial. So 273.5, you had $50,000 bail, you're looking at between $5,000 and $10,000. Now, let's say you were charged with a 273.5A and domestic violence felony, and your bond was $70,000, $75,000. You're thinking, well, why should the attorney cost more then? If your bond was that high, there's a reason for it. So the reason could be really bad injuries that they're alleging you caused. The reason could be that you have bad criminal history. The reason could be that there are additional charges in the case besides the 273.5. So for attorneys, when we're trying to figure out how much to charge, we're looking at how much time the case will take. I mean, it really just comes down to that. For criminal law, almost all of us here in LA and Orange County, Southern California, we all charge flat fees. The reason is that it really, for criminal defendants, if you didn't know how much it was going to cost, you're probably going to run out of money at some point if you're paying hourly. So it's all flat fees for us here. And we have to figure out, there's some risk to that. We have to figure out, well, how much time is this going to cost? If it is a less serious case, then maybe it won't take as much time. But if it's a more serious case, if there are, there's some sort of GBI, great bodily injury allegation in the case, then to get a client a deal that we think you'll be happy with or get the case perhaps dismissed, it's going to take a lot more work and a lot more time on our part. And this isn't a hard and fast rule. I mean, I mentioned if your bail was $0, you're not getting a private criminal defense attorney for $0. There's still going to be a charge to it. And there is, at a certain point, a minimum. I mean, if somebody really wanted me to take care of a traffic ticket for them, for example, I'm not going to charge all that much less than a regular misdemeanor charge, because the time that I'm going to spend on that probably will be the same. Unless, I just want to pay they just want to pay the traffic ticket. We're going to be fighting. They're probably going to be, more than one court date, the same as for a misdemeanor, a really low level misdemeanor. Likewise, I've had a client whose bail was over $6 million. Does that mean that I'm charging him, $600,000 to $1.2 million to go to represent him, up to the point of trial? No, it doesn't. So there are always exceptions, but if you're trying to figure out, how much are attorneys going to quote me, or, wow, was that way too high? Is that way too low? Which is also something to be cautious of. I think that this is a good rule of thumb. If you do have a case in Los Angeles that you need help with, feel free to give me a call. My number is down below, or you can also book a consultation.